We've officially ended day one of the NACT Spring Season Qualifiers, and it ended with some bangers. We saw a lot of teams get dropped down to the lower brackets, but also some push forward into the winter quarterfinals and the semifinals, and hopefully we'll be able to see the grand finals and beyond as we progress through the following days. Today, we're going to be doing a quick video on a recap on everything we've seen within stage one, day one of the qualifiers, and then also our predictions on where we think the lower bracket will go. And then on top of that, there's been a lot of questions about the format for the NACT Spring Season and how it could be a little confusing. So we're going to clarify that all in today's video. So definitely tune in, as you're not going to want to miss this one. Let's go over the quick format for the NACT Spring Season. And currently we're on the stage one qualifiers, February 17th through the 25th. We'll be seeing 2 open qualifiers, 64 teams competing, a double elimination, and all matches will be a best of 1. Today was the first open qualifier. Tomorrow will be the second. The top 8 teams from each qualifier will advance to the stage 2 qualifiers. Here is the official format for the NACT Spring Season 2024. It's going to start with the stage 1 qualifier, February 17th, which is today. And it's going to last through the 25th. There will be 2 open qualifiers. So right now we're in the first open qualifier. 64 teams will be fighting it out, and it is double elimination, meaning there's an upper bracket, and if you lose there, you get dropped down to the lower bracket. All these matches are best of 1s, so you only have 2 matches that you can take before you're completely eliminated. The top 8 teams from each open qualifiers will advance to the stage 2 qualifiers. Now, the stage 2 qualifiers will take place March 2nd and 3rd. It's only going to be 2 days, and it's going to be 16 teams fighting it out in a single round robin. That means every single team will have a chance to play against every other team in that bracket, which means if there's 16 teams, you get to play against 15 other teams. So everybody plays everybody one time. It will be all best of 1s, and the top 8 teams with the most wins will go ahead and advance into the regular season, which is going to be a month long, March 16th through April 6th. Single round robin. Again, everybody playing everybody one time, and all matches will be a best of 3. All teams will advance to the playoffs no matter what you score inside of the regular season. It's more to kind of gauge and improve before the playoff times. Playoff season will start April 13th through May 12th, and it'll be double elimination. All matches are going to be a best of 5. The grand finals is a best of 7. The location is not disclosed yet of where it will be, but it will be an offline event, and the champions will qualify to MSC 2024. That is the current format for the NACT Spring Season. Hopefully that clarifies and clears any confusion there. And now let's go ahead and jump in to what we've seen in the NACT Spring Season Stage 1, Day 1 of the Open Qualifiers for the upper bracket. It's full of a lot of surprises. I would say some of the things that we expected. Gaming Gladiators powered through everybody, remained undefeated, and made their way up to the winter semifinals. They're able to take down Accelerate, Turret Campers, Novacore, Overskilled, and now going to be going up against Devious Activity. Now looking on to the other side, Devious Activity pushed through everybody. They're able to make it up there as well. They took out No Morals, Washout, Luminaire, and Wildcard. It wasn't the fastest games. I wouldn't say it was like on a Gaming Gladiator or BTK level, but it was impressive and most of the time one-sided. But Gaming Gladiators, for the most part, they won a lot of their matches under 10 minutes, 12 to 10 minutes, and same with BTK. Got to also see BTK power through. They took down Shade, Dreamville, Legacy, and Area 77, which is a former top 8 team in North America, top 4 team for North America last season. They took down Assassin Riles team as well. So BTK did not have the easiest bracket, but they still pushed through, and they had some very good games. Most of them were majority one-sided, and again, under that 12 to 10 minute mark. I wish I could have seen a little bit more from Riles in the upper bracket, but he's not out yet. For those who are AE fans or Assassin Riles fans, Legacy is still in the building. They will be just knocked down to the lower bracket. Same with all these teams that you've seen who didn't make it today in these best of 1s for the upper bracket. Area 77 will be dropped down there also, so I can't wait to see how they compete tomorrow, which we will be live streaming, so make sure you guys tune in. Apex Predator, they did okay on their first match, but they lost to Godlike Skills, which was a little bit of a surprise. I thought Apex would have been a little bit more further in the side of this bracket than they are, but like I said, they're not out yet. One of the biggest shockers that happened today was Team Gosu not making it all the way to the Bloodhounds in Winners Round 3. They got taken down by a team called Fiends. They were able to take out Salty Salad and Distinctions, but Fiends was able to claim victory over them in their best of one and knocked Gosu down to the lower bracket. Not something that I would have predicted. I did, however, say that Bloodhounds was going to be the one to beat Gosu, but I expected Gosu to at least get to where Fiends was. So I don't know what that means for Gosu. Will they be able to push through the lower bracket? I hope so, just for general sake. But man, it just shows you that the competition is not easy and nobody's getting a free ride. Bloodhounds did a pretty good job. They are going to be going up against BTK. They made it all the way to the winners semifinals, and they've been working really hard. Like I said, one of the most consistent teams in North America, competing in every single local tournament. But it was funny today because their first match was up against the Vanguard. And like I said, these are two teams that kind of have been grinding together behind the scenes for a while now. Bloodhounds was able to kind of push through them, though. They took advantage in the mid to late game and started pushing through and closed that game out. And then after that, they're pretty much dominating every single game. Now, with that being said, we are going to be looking at the winners quarterfinals or semifinals being Gaming Gladiators and Devious Activity going up against each other, and then also BTK versus the Bloodhounds. These are still going to be best of ones, and then the winners are going to move forward into the winners finals, and then you're also going to have the grand final. So that is not going to be this weekend. That is going to be next weekend, I believe. So we will be live streaming that, so make sure you guys tune in. And that is going to be pretty much a full recap of what we've seen today in the Stage 1 Spring Season Qualifiers on the upper bracket. And now moving on to the lower bracket for all the teams who lost their best of ones today, still have a second shot to make it into one of those top 8 positions out of the top 16, getting ready to try and get into the Stage 2 qualifiers. Round 1 is going to be Accelerate versus Skill Genius. Like we said, these two teams are not really well known across North America, and it's going to be really hard to gauge who will push through. I think that's anybody's game, and then they'll go up against Mass, the same situation, anybody's game. And then forward from that, they'll either be going against Team Ace, No Practice, or Phoenix Ravens. I can see Team Ace taking out No Practice and Phoenix Ravens, so it's going to be Team Ace definitely here for losers round 3, going against one of these 3 that we see here, which is Mass, Accelerate, or Skill Genius. Regardless, Team Ace should be able to take that one with ease, and then I see them taking down New King Limitless, and I can pretty much expect Team Ace to land right here. But the question is, who will they fight in loser rounds 5? You've got Assassin Dave's Fanboys, Nodweed Win, and Asphyxia. Out of these 3, anybody's game. I'll give it to Assassin Dave's Fanboys just because they root behind Assassin Dave, but honestly, I think they're just doing it more for fun. I'm not really sure because I don't really know the players. Still going to say anybody's match there. And then the Redemption Arc, and Distinction. It's anybody's game there. It's going to go all the way up to anybody's match for losers round 3. Regardless, they're going to lose to No Morals. I see No Morals winning that one, and it'll be No Morals going up against Team Ace inside of losers round 5. I want to say I'm going to give this one to Team Ace. I think Team Ace will take down No Morals. They'll go up against Area 77. Area 77, I can see them taking down Team Ace, but I think it'll be a close call. I just think Area 77 is just a little bit better from what I've seen, and they have a lot of synergy compared to other teams in NA. They didn't perform that well against BTK, but I mean, BTK is just, yeah, they're just on a different level than a lot of these teams right now. Maybe Area 77 will do some homework tonight, but I feel like Team Ace can definitely give them a run for their money. It could be either side winning that one, but if I had to give a guess, I would go for Area 77 to advance on to losers round 7. Now we're going to go on to the bottom side. We've got to figure out who's going to make it all the way to losers round 7 to go against Area 77. So now we've got Luminaire, Apex Predator, and Mad Dogs. Mad Dogs is Joybaj's team, Luminaire. They didn't really perform that well. They had a really hard game against BTK, who shut them down. And then you have Apex Predator. I would honestly say, since Joybosh is on Mad Dogs, I would give this one to Apex Predator. I think Apex Predator might take down Joybosh. And then Joybosh is a really good tank, but the other players, I just don't think they've competed on that high of a level. Maybe they have. I'm not really too familiar with them, though. Haven't really seen them on the professional scene. And I don't know if Joybosh has what it takes to kind of carry them all the way. Maybe he does. But I could just see Apex Predator taking them down just because they have a lot more synergy. And that will advance them to losers round 3. And they'll be going up against Idyllics, Wake, or After Hours. I can see Idyllics beating Wake just because, like I said, they've competed in the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy multiple times, multiple tournaments that I personally hosted and did really well. I can see them beating After Hours, but then I can see them falling maybe to Apex Predator. I can possibly say Apex Predator win that. This one's going to be a harder one to gauge. I feel like a lot of these teams are more around the same level now. It's not as big of a gap that needs to be crossed. I think they're about even. But I will say Apex Predator should be able to take down Idyllics. and also go up against Above the Rest. I don't see Above the Rest beating Apex Predator. I think they'll be able to push through them. I feel like Above the Rest had a little bit of an easier bracket, and that's why they were able to push forward so fast. They took down Assassin Dave's fanboys, and that's just why they're starting and losing round 4. But I feel like Apex Predator is a little bit of a higher competition that will give them a challenge. And I can see Apex Predator making it to losers round 5. Now, they're going to have a little bit of a run for their money, though, because the next bracket on who's going to make it over to go against them, you have Training Camp, the Royals, Villain Era, Catalyst, Severe Hydra, and Dreamville. I think anybody's game for Training Camp and the Royals. They'll go up against Villain Era. I feel like Villain Era will win that one and move forward. Dreamville, Severe Hydra, and Catalyst. I think Dreamville will move forward. Villain Era will move forward. Those two will go against each other. I can see that one's really hard because I feel like they're pretty much even, but we'll give this one to Dreamville just because we actually watched their game and it was pretty decent. I will say Dreamville is going to push forward, but they're going to lose to Novacore. Novacore will make it over here to go up inside of the losers round 5 against Apex Predator, and Novacore should be able to close that one out. Go up against Fiends. Fiends took down Gosu, and honestly, I really didn't expect that. I could see Fiends taking down Novacore, maybe, just because they're a wild card that took down Gosu. But if I had to bet between two of these teams, would I have said Novacore would take down Gosu? No, I don't think so. So I have to give this one to Fiends. I think they might have what it takes. The only data I have on them is that they really took down Gosu. I do know Novacore, though, and their players and how well they play together. And they have great synergy, but I just don't see them beating Gosu, and Fiends did. So if I got to stick with the stats, I mean, they beat a harder team, so they should be able to beat an easier team when it comes down to it. So I would see Fiends progressing forward up against Novacore to move up here, and that'll be Fiends up against Area 77. Area 77 should be able to take that victory, knock them over onto the losers quarterfinals, and that's where they'll be sitting. Now moving on to the bottom half of the bracket, we are going to be seeing Shade, UK Silencers, No Tomorrow, Mobile Guild, and Trash. I'm hoping Mobile Guild makes it up there and takes down No Tomorrow, but they've had a little bit of a harder game so far, so maybe they can kind of turn the tide. They should be able to take down No Tomorrow. Maybe they can take down Trash. I'm just hoping for the best for them just because they've been in our community supporting us, so I don't want to pass any bad luck their way. Like I said, these are newer teams, not really too much information on any of them. But Mobile Guild may be able to push through. Shade, UK Silencers, Before You. I think Shade, from what I've seen, they kind of performed well today. So I can see them taking down UK Silencers and Before You. They'll go up against Mobile Guild. I can see Mobile Guild beating them. And then Mobile Guild going up against What's the Problem. I think What's the Problem will be able to take them out because they went way further on the bracket than they did in the upper bracket. So they were not first round exits. So I can see What's the Problem possibly taking that. I mean, even Mobile Guild making it up here is a pretty far stretch considering a lot of these teams got knocked out super early. So What's the Problem will probably take it here. This is going to be a little bit of an easier bracket. Gosu starts pretty far on this one too. I think it's like losers round 5. Area 69 went up against Area 77. They got taken down. Sovereign got taken down as well. And Outcast. Sovereign was competing in the Attack on Titan tournament that we watched. They did okay. I wouldn't say it was like the highest level of gameplay. So I would say I'd probably still give it to them just because they're actively competing, which the other ones I don't see them in any local tournaments. So Sovereign moving forward, but still anybody's match. Out of these three, they're pretty much all the same skill level. And once they end up matching up against Gosu, I don't see them taking them down. Matter of fact, I don't see any of them taking down Shadow 9. As Shadow 9 is going to go up against Never Lose, probably win that one, take down Washout. And then they'll take any one of these three down. Doesn't matter who it is that they go against, just based off what I've seen in their level of competition in tournaments across North America. Then you're going to see Shadow 9 go up against Team Gosu, and I can see Gosu blowing them out, which will knock Gosu over here to go up against What's the Problem in the losers round 5, and Gosu should be able to push through and win that one. That'll force them to go up against Overskilled. I think that's going to be a very hard fight for Gosu in the beginning. The early game Overskilled overpowered Gaming Gladiators, and not with a hard time, but with ease. So I think if they want to have a chance to take them down, then they're definitely going to have to bring their A game from Team Gosu. But do I think they can do it? Yes. Do I think it's a 100% chance? No. I think it's like a 60-40. But I will say let's give it to the benefit of Gosu just because I want to see Gosu General kind of prevail and make it further. Definitely been a fan for a while. But if it came down to who was I impressed more with so far today, I would say Overskilled definitely surprised me. But I'm going to give it to Gosu just for the benefit. And so push them up to the losers round 7. And then moving on down to see who's going to go against Salad, Ethereal, or Team Guso. Dude, I would love to see Team Guso go up against Gosu. That'd be hilarious. Everybody's been asking for that matchup. So let's give that one to Team Guso because it's still anybody's match between them 3 anyway. Team Guso should be able to beat Ethereal, should be able to eat Salt Salad, maybe. Anybody's match. The winner of that will go up against the Forgotten Ones because I can see them beating the Valid Boys and Nox Epsilon. Forgotten Ones was a team that beat BTK last year in the NACT Spring. So I think they have a really strong chance. I think maybe they just had a bad day today. Again, a lot of these levels are similar versus who they were going against in the upper bracket. The upper bracket was like the 46th team going against the number 1, the number 2. Now it's going to be more like the 46th going against the 43rd or things of that nature. So it'll be a lot more even competition, not more of a one-sided 10-minute match. So I would expect to see Team Guso hopefully push forward because I want to see them go against Gosu. But they won't make it against Gosu anyway because Forgotten Ones is not going to let that happen. I can see them taking down Invalid Boys and Nox Epsilon and Team Guso, which would push them all the way up against Godlike Skills. And I don't know if they'll take down Godlike Skills. I mean, they made it pretty far in the bracket. But like I said, it's a little bit more even now. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say Forgotten Ones will take this one. Our lower bracket is always a little bit harder, because a lot of these players, there's just not that much data on them. We only really get to see them compete in the NACT qualifiers. It's not like they were competing in a lot of tournaments. So I'll give Forgotten Ones the credit they deserve just because they've competed everywhere. And let's say they make it up here, take out Godlike Skills. That'll be something I want to see. And if I look at who they would be facing, out of everybody, the Vanguard, we have issues, Astra 1, Nighthorde X, Turret Campers, Nighthorde, and Legacy. I can see the Vanguard beating We Have Issues. I see Nighthorde beating the Vanguard. I see Nighthorde moving forward. I see Astro Force, Nighthorde 1, and Turret Campers. Astro Force, no, may be able to beat Nighthorde X. I don't think they're just a bunch of fans from the Nighthorde server. I'm not really too sure. I haven't met them. Turret Campers, I can see them. They lost pretty bad to BTK, but it is BTK. So I feel like it's anybody's match between these 3. But whoever goes forward is going to lose to the Nighthorde. The Nighthorde is going to go up against Legacy, and that is Assassin Riles' team. I think that's going to be a very hard match for Assassin Riles. Supposedly the Nighthorde was beating BTK, but we didn't see that today. Maybe Legacy can pull through, but they got pretty badly beat by the Bloodthirsty Kings as well. So hopefully they can pick up their momentum, but I would have to say I think the Nighthorde has a little bit more synergy than Legacy does right now. So maybe the Nighthorde pushes through there. I'd love to see Assassin Riles push through, though. To have him in the top 8, I think that'd be great, not only for him, but for the NA scene, as we need content creators to make it, who are actually going to make content and stream and grow the community. So I would want to see Legacy make it, just because there's more content creator that comes from that. But realistically, I can see the Nighthorde taking them down. That'll make the Nighthorde go here, and they'll be going up against, like I said, any one of these, the Forgotten Ones. They'll be going up against the Forgotten Ones, and I think Nighthorde will beat the Forgotten Ones to force them up against Wildcard. I would assume Nighthorde could beat them, since now they're going against more of average teams, not harder teams. That'll push them up to the losers round 7, and that will force them to go up against Team Gosu. Losers round 7, I'm going to give that to Team Gosu. Yeah, I'm going to give that to Team Gosu. Team Gosu should be able to take down the Nighthorde right there and move on to the losers semifinals. And that'll be a fire match because we'll be able to see them go up against Area 77. Gosu versus Area 77. I would have to give that one to Area 77. I think they'll push through and take that, especially with how they've been performing. They lost to BTK, but they made it pretty high in that bracket, whereas Gosu fell a lot earlier and to a team that not many of us know about. So I can see Area 77 taking them there. But nonetheless, that'll kind of confirm their spot inside of the NACT Stage 2, if they can at least make it to the loser semifinals, to make that possible top 8 position for the first open qualifiers. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, though. Let me know what y'all think. If it was Area 77 and Gosu inside of the grand finals for the lower bracket, who do you think would be able to win this one? And if you would change anything that we said today, let me know. But that is going to be a full recap and also a walkthrough for our predictions for the lower bracket, which will be live tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be jam-packed with even more excitement than today. We had a really good live stream. We'll be live again tomorrow at the same time. The schedule has not been officially posted yet by Moonton, but once it is, just be looking on our YouTube channel for a scheduled live stream and definitely tap in. Also, Place your predictions on who you guys think will win the lower brackets. The link is out. It will be in the description of today's video to view everything that we just looked at today for you guys to get even more in depth and let me know about some of the teams that you're looking forward to seeing tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A quick summary over everything. Went over the format, clarify some of the confusion out there, and also our predictions and a recap for the NACT Stage 1 upper bracket. Tomorrow we'll be live. I can't wait to see y'all there. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a subscribe. I love y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Turn me up.